Alrighty guys, I'm Casey and welcome to a brand new episode of our modded survival world. Guys, last episode we did a few quality of life changes to, make our lives a little bit better. By upgrading most of our tools, we got we got a jetpack. But the big thing that we did was this monstrosity right here. This is the blaze farm. And as you can see, it's working a treat. We're up to 7 blaze rods right now. And in this episode, I want to continue doing some quality of life changes, getting a little bit of armor, getting a magnet, just a couple of things like that. But I also want to put a building around this, and maybe, if we've got time, get into a bit better power gen. But first things first is I want to start this episode off how we started the last episode off, and that is by going mining for half an hour and see what I can get. So if you're looking forward to this episode, do me a favor now before you forget, like, subscribe, and without any further ado, let's get into the episode. Before I go mining, there is one quality of life change that I want to make right now, and it's called the golden bag of holding. This is just a bit of gold and a diamond or some, phone bleeping. And, a diamond. Some wool and that. And this thing is really, really great because it just basically allows us to have this big inventory space right here. So when I'm mining, things are going to be a little bit easier. I don't need to keep running up here and putting my stuff away. So now it's off to diggy hole. So coming in at a little under half an hour, we managed to get all of these resources. I did actually make a cardboard box. I'm going to put this cardboard box here and do that. Which you put it that way. This has just got a bunch of cobblestone in it. I forget what I did upstairs. I'm curious now. Nothing. I did nothing upstairs. Okay. This has a bunch of cobblestone in it that I mined while I was down there because I realized I was actually running low on it. But this is everything that we got. We didn't get no diamonds or we didn't get no gold, which is unfortunate. But I ran into a lot of roadblocks. There's a lot of lava. I spent more time just trying to get around stuff than I did actually doing stuff. So now I'm going to go ahead and just extract all of this stuff, put it through the blender. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to do something a little bit different this time. You see, this actually has a slot to put something in. We can put a dark steel ball in and get more loot from our laws. More loot from our laws? Yeah, great. Let's go with that. More loot from our ores is what I was trying to say. But for some reason, an L slipped in there. But that means that we need this dark steel. You can hear the blaze farm. And to get this, it's not that difficult, to be honest with you. Pulverized obsidian and steel is one way to go. Another way to go in the alloy smelter is obsidian, coal, and iron. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a stack of coal in there, get that pulverized up. I've already got the iron, so I'm not too worried about that. But the next thing that I do need is obsidian. But we've got this pickaxe, so I'm just going to go down. I'm just going to mine some. It shouldn't be that long. Well, I've got this cool pickaxe here that's got haste on it. This is an insta mine on stone now. But more importantly than that, guys, is it mines obsidian insanely quick. Really, really happy with it. Now, all we gotta do is throw in a stack of each of these. There's already one missing from each because I did put one in to sort of get it ready so that I could show you, but it's not quite done yet. So there it is, the first dark steel. Now, obviously, we need 5 of these to make a ball, or at least to make 5 balls. So I've got to wait for a bit of time. But while that's doing, I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get some work done on this. I want to get the bottom area here done because right now it looks like pants. So I'm just working on the interior a bit. And as much as I love these barrels, I really do, because they hold quite a lot. They hold 256 buckets. There is something else that I actually want to do, and they're called tanks. And these tanks are pretty cool, if I do say so myself. I love them. They're one of my favorite things within Minecraft. So let's just go ahead and make this up. This will make us an entire stack of these, and we can put these here. And these are clear and see-through. But they show the fluid, and I think it looks really, really cool. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this all the way around, and we're going to have this sort of linking up on this side right here. And so as it fills up, we'll get ourselves more and more of it, and it'll fill up, and it'll just look really, really cool to have these like glowing green walls around us. Now, there is a blaze powder in there. Sometimes when the blaze dies, it'll drop a blaze powder that the grinder doesn't pick up. It's a rare drop, and it very rarely happens. And besides, we're going to be getting more than enough. Like, we've got over a stack of blaze rods and 2 blaze powder anyway, so it's not a big deal. Anyway, I've got more work to do in here. The blaze farm is still coming along, but there's one small quality of life thing that I want to make up right now. It actually requires a gold ingot. And I accidentally made some of this stuff. This pokey venom. I don't know what it is. I don't even know how good or bad that is. But I accidentally made some up, so we've got some. I had a little bit of look at this. What I want to make up now is this knapsack. This is really, really cool. This works very similar to... I do not have my... Yes, I do. I have my thingies right there. Why you no let me have it? Leather. Iron tough rod. Is it because I need to click this one? I need to click that one. Okay. Fair enough. And what this does is you can put this here. And then you get this additional tab right here that allows you to store things. And I think this knapsack would be a good place to store a lot of our items that we need frequently, but don't always have to carry on us. In this way, it stops our inventory from clogging up. So we've got our tools that we'll use there and stuff like that. But my next task is to actually put the windows in and the roof on the blaze farm. It's taken me about an hour, but I finally got blaze tower done, or at least to a position where I'm somewhat happy with it. This is blaze tower. So we call it blaze tower. It looks pretty good. I think I might want to pivot the roof a little bit more in the middle, but I'm not sure yet. I'm going to see if it grows on me. I definitely want to add something here, but I'm not sure what yet. But this is perfectly fine for what I want for now. It looks really, really good. I need to put a door in here. We need to get the pathway in, but that's all for later on. But right now, I want to show you what I've done inside. We've got this drum right here. So this is what will come in, and we'll put drums here when we want to extract liquid from here. There's another extraction point over here. I've just got a tank here for now. So if we ever need any, we can just come in here, pop it in and whatnot. And of course, this works while we're in here. So I am going to put a door on there just so this is still working. And we can just like AFK here if need be. And just gather all of the stuff. And all should be good. But of course, the YouTuber's curse strikes again. And it is night time. Well, after doing all of that, the dark steel has indeed finished. Which means we can craft up these dark steel balls. And I'll show you exactly why I wanted these. Because you can pop these in this alloy smelter right here. And get significantly more drops from your stuff. Now, this isn't guaranteed to give you more than what it would ordinarily, but it does have an increased chance to give you additional extras. So we got 24 pieces of lapis from just one piece. That's freaking amazing. So happy with that. But now what we can do is we can dump in all this. I want to see how many emerald ore we get, because I need emeralds for what I want to do. But I am just curious. How many is going to pop in here? 10 from one. 10 from one. And then 5 from the other. As you can see, sometimes it does really good. Sometimes it does not. So I'm going to get all my ores put in here. We got 4 ardite from that one. So I'm going to put all my other ores in here and get them transferred over into here. Now the next quality of life thing I want to add to this episode is a magnet. Now, unfortunately, this is going to take this vibrant alloy right here, but we'll get into that in a minute. First of all, we need the conductive iron and the electric steel. Now, we've already made conductive iron up before, so we know how to do that, but the electric steel is a little bit different. We needed, I think it was 4 pieces. So this is coal, silicon, and iron in the alloy smelter. That'll make us up the electric steel. How do you get silicon? Well, it's just sand in a sag mill. Now, the conductive iron, I'm actually going to make over here in the induction smelter. I'm going to make up 4, because I can't remember if it's 4 of this or 4 of the electric steel that we need. So that'll make those up for me. And the last thing that we need is this vibrant alloy. So the next thing in the tree that we need is this vibrant crystal. We've got an emerald. We just need a vibrant alloy, which requires vibrant alloy. But no, in all seriousness, this requires energetic alloy and an ender pearl. To get the energetic alloy, we need a redstone, a gold, and a glowstone. For some reason, I thought this required a... Never mind. I thought this required soul sand. I could have sworn that this required soul sand. No, that's celerium that requires soul sand. Okay, I did not need the soul sand. There's our energetic alloy, and we could do this in the induction smelter, or we could do it in here. Got me ender pearl. This is going to take a little bit of time to do, but it seems like it's powering through it. Bingo, bango, bongo was his name. Oh, I don't even know where that's from. But people just say, like, okay, so we got the vibrant alloy now. We could just surround the crystal like so. We've got that. And now it's a case of me picking up everything that is in the induction smelter and in here, which is the electric steel. And boom, we can get a magnet. Now, before we can use this magnet and make it any useful, it does need a bit of a charge here. But the great thing about this magnet is it's just going to draw things in to us. So any block that's on the floor, you shift and right click that, sets it up operational like so. Now anything that gets thrown on the floor, so if I throw this, you can see it immediately comes back to me. It's just going to make mining a bit easier, because for what I want to do in this episode is I want to get into more power. And to do that, well, the first step is, well, getting more power. But I want to use magmatic dynamos, which are these things right here. I just like these. They're really cool, and it's just a really good fun source of power. But this requires a lot of invar, which is going to require a lot of nickel, a lot of iron. I want 64 of these. 64 of these to make the contraption that I want to make. And it's going to be a long-winded ordeal. But we don't even need 64 to start with. We can just go with 8, I think, would be a good idea, because I'm going to need better cables now. I'm thinking about it. But anyway, I want to do a bit more mining and sort of get an idea of where I want this build to go. This build is definitely going to go over this side of the farm over here. It's going to go somewhere over here. I'm thinking it would be nice to have it like here. But there's a lot of stuff in the way. I need to do some terraforming. I got work to do. So I've got the clearing done, and I've got a shape for this building in place right here. This is pretty much how the building is going to look. We're going to have these 2 towers here that are going to be generating power in each side. And then in the middle, we're going to have some sort of capacitor bank. And then this is going to just shift the power off to other places around the base. We are going to have to do some terraforming to this field right here to be able to bring this pathway up and around, because I definitely want it to go around here, but I also would like it to go sort of down here into the mines, and they come up over there as well. So we might have to edit this field a little bit. But for right now, what I need to do is I need to get some more shape put into this building. I need to bring it up a little bit. We're going to have 2 towers either side. And then what we're going to have is a wooden sort of central bit. I really do love the immersive environment we've got when we just kind of walk through here. But you can see I've got the power plant in place, or at least the outer building. I've gone with different windows to sort of make it pop. I'm very, very unsure about these windows. I may change them out. I think they're a bit too bright and vibrant. But it kind of symbolizes what this power plant is doing, in the terms that it's actually producing power from lava. But we haven't actually done anything inside, really, apart from just lay out these pillars right here and how the inside is actually going to look, because we need to start doing it now. I've been thinking about this over the past couple of days, and I've been going back and forth on it, particularly over the past hour, that I do want to have 64 magmatic dynamos in here. Now, if we look at magmatic dynamos, it's these things right here. These produce power from lava, but each one is going to require 8, 9, 10, 11 invar for just one. And that's going to be a considerable amount of resources, and I don't have it. I'm going to have to do a lot of mining. And because we'll have 64 in these, right, we'll have 64 in here producing, how much does this produce per tick? I forget. It doesn't actually show. But anyway, we're going to have 64 producing power. I'm not going to need the amount of power that 64 is going to produce right now. So I think I'm going to try and make up maybe 16 of them. I think that'll be a fair amount to begin with. And then I can set up like an ender quarry. We can get mining the resources automatically, and it'll just be much easier for me to do that way, rather than having to go and grind for hours upon hours upon hours when I'm not really going to need the additional power. So if I've mathed correctly, we should have everything that we need to make up these magmatic dynamos. Magmatic dynamos right here, which I should be able to get 16 of these. Great. I've also gone and got myself some of these basic capacitors made up. But there's one more thing that I want to make up first. It's called a crescent hammer. And why did I type in hammer and just not go for crescent hammer? It was such easier. Yes, I got this recipe right. It was a 10. This thing is going to help us out when it comes to these magmatic dynamos. Now that we've got this, we can actually go and put these in place. Now, the way that I'm going to set this out is each tower is going to have 32 of these in it in total. But I don't have enough right now, so what we're going to do is we're just going to do this one. And what we're going to do is we're going to start it off as you would like this. Okay, and then I'm going to put them on top. And we're going to do it this too high on each side, I think, for now. But I don't want them facing this way. What I actually want is them facing a different way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it so that it's transformed so they're all facing with this point inside. Okay, that was just terrible. So I've been doing some work. We've got this inside. This is where the power is going to be stored. I'm actually going to change this a little bit. I'd like to just have one here, and then we can have these two like that. I do want to make this one block further forward because these capacitor banks we've been using, like I said, they join together. This now has a max input and output of 9,000. That's not very much, especially considering there are some more better ones in the pack. But I don't know if I'm going to make this one a little bit bigger or if I'm just going to wait until we can get into the later ones. I think that might be the more beneficial thing to do. So I've got the coils set up. They're pointed into the pipes. We've got a drum up there. That's where the lava is going to be stored. And it'll come down from the drum and into here. But that's the next thing that I want to get into. I want to have a way to get the lava into there without us really having to keep replacing that drum up there. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to come into here. I'm going to go into claim chunks. And I'm just going to claim this. And then I'm going to hold shift. I think it's shift. No, is it space? Nope, it's control. And what that's going to do is that's going to keep this area permanently chunk loaded. So this power generation base thing right here is going to be permanently chunk loaded now, meaning that it's going to run continuously, and that's exactly what we want. Now, we need to be able to get the lava in here, but I think the first things first, where are we going to get the lava from? Now, the obvious place to get lava from is the nether. There's a lot of it in the nether, but there's a couple of things that we are going to need before we even think about going to the nether. We're going to need two things. One, we're going to need a way to extract the lava. And for that, we're going to use what's called an endothermic pump. And then we're going to need somewhere to store the lava and send it over to the power plant wirelessly. But that one's second of all. First one, we're going to use this thing called the endothermic pump. Now, this is fairly easy to get our hands on. We just need a few resources. So I believe that I've got everything I need to make up this pump. Now, I've also made sure I've got enough for punk. Not punk, it's pump. You spell pump with a M, Casey, not an N, an M. So I think I've got everything apart from this ender-infused obsidian, which I thought we'd do together, which is just 4 obsidian and an ender pearl. We only need 4 of these. And, nope. Am I missing something? I've got the bucket, I've got the Eye of Ender, of course. I'm missing the Eye of Ender. I am missing the Eye of Ender. Now we should have everything we need. Cool, we've got the endothermic pump. Now the next thing that I need is a way to transfer the fluids wirelessly. Once we get the lava in the nether, we need to send it to the overworld. And there are a few ways that you can do this. There's obviously the tesseract, which is the most common, but that's fairly late game. This thing requires resident ender to fill it. And this requires ender pearls, and I can't be bothered to literally go and get the amount of ender pearls required for that. And it's just a long-winded process when there's something that'll work even better. It's this ender tank here. And I think I've got everything apart from this cauldron. I think I'm just missing the cauldron. And I'm obviously missing the iron to make the cauldron because of course I am. So I want 3 of these in total. So I'm hoping that I'm going to have enough to craft up 3. 1, 2, 3. Good. Now, these ender tanks, they work really, really cool. Now, you've got to remember, this is an old world that I'm playing in. There's a whole other base, 1,000,000 blocks that way. Or it's actually 8,000 blocks in one of these directions. So some of these ender tanks are going to actually have liquid in them. I don't plan to use this. I plan to make my own. But I want to show you how these work real quickly. We'll put 2 down, and what we're going to do is we're going to link these together, and they get linked by this color code on top. You see these are all white, so they'll have the same liquid in it. If I put a red here and a red here, then all of a sudden that gets drained out, and we are on a whole different set of tanks. And for lava, I think I'm going to go red, orange, orange. Now, because I'm not the only one who plays in this world, my wife plays in this world. I've got a friend who plays in this world too. I use the red combo for me. This signifies anything that I have starts with a red most times. Sometimes I break this pattern, but not most times. And the yellow, also the orange, signifies lava. Now, I want to show you a real quick tip. If you've got your flowers and you want your dye, and you don't have many flowers, just stick them in the pulverizer and you actually get more dye than you would if you were to just break it down normally. I think it doubles the dye. What was that? We got 4 from that. We get no, it quadruples the dye. We get a lot more dye. But anyway, it's off to the nether. Now we're here, we can actually start putting this thing together. I did grab a capacitor bank that I fully charged because this thing does require power. I do not have my fluid ducts. Yes, I do. It's there. Okay. Good. I've got everything that I need. Now, I'm going to pop it down, I think, over here. I think it's the best place. And the way that this works is it basically will funnel lava from this pit. And it will replace the lava block with a stone block. It turns the lava into stone and puts a lava bucket in the adjacent inventory. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pop this down here. We're going to pop this here. We're going to tell this we want it to extract from it. I can't remember if I need a lever or not on this thing. We're about to find out. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my power conduits, which I've got here. And I'm going to connect the power here. And then we're going to pop this down. And hopefully we should see it starting to work. There we go. Now, this thing works and it's designed to work with lava. But as you can see, it's not just doing the top block. It's doing every block where there's lava. Now, obviously, we've only got one lava block here, so it's only going to do one. And this pump needs to be placed above lava to work. It won't do lava above it. It'll only do lava below it. But it doesn't have to be placed on top of the lava. It can be placed to the side like we did. And as you can see now, it's pumping it into here. We've got almost an entire... what you call it. Oops, that's not where I wanted to put that. An entire barrel in just a few seconds. And this is going to provide us with a lot of lava. Now, we will have to babysit this from time to time. And what I mean by that is we'll have to come and we'll have to move it about to get more and more lava. But as you can see, this is not inputting right now, even though we've got it set to do just that. You need to turn this nozzle on the top here. This tells you whether you want it to input or output. And we obviously want it to input. And it might not be filling up here because remember, we've got the other ones in the overworld draining into the barrels there and draining into the magmatic dynamos because I've already set that up. So this should all be working. As you can see, it's going to work perfectly fine. We'll come back and move this from time to time. And this has barely used any power as is. So hopefully this should see us through. Now, as you can see in the overworld, it is working a treat. We've got one side working, but the other side is not working. And if you're building like this, don't worry if you've got one side working and one side not working. Remember, the lava is coming into this tank. This is the same tank that's over there, essentially. They are identical. So the lava is going to be in both. It might just be that this one is grabbing it quicker and pulling all the lava out of it before the other one even has a chance to. But that's okay. Once this fills up, the other one will start working. But we do have one problem. If you notice, the magmatic dynamos, this is where the lava goes. It's actually not going into them. And this is because you input lava and liquids from the back of a dynamo, not the front. So why have I done it this way? Well, as it turns out, there is an augment in the pack that allows us to input the lava through the coil on the front. And that augment is this one right here, the transmission coil ducting. And we are going to need 16 of these because we've got 16 little magmatic dynamos. And you just install these like we installed the augments into this slot right here. So here we are installing the final transmission coil. And as you can see, they're all lit up now and they are all generating power. I think they're generating more power than what we can actually store here. I definitely think that's the case. Because remember, these power conduits here, these red ones, they only transmit 600. Okay, no, we're not. 320 each one's doing. So is that 320 RF per tick that they're all generating? 80 RF per tick, and they can handle 600, was it? Yeah, 640. So that's like, what, 80, 160? Yeah. Yeah, we're not overloading it. So we're generating now 1,280 RF per tick. And that is good. By the way, when this capacitor bank fills up, these magmatic dynamos will then start filling up their bank. Once this bank is filled up, even if there's lava coming into it, the magmatic dynamo will shut off. So it's not going to consume any lava, so we're not going to be wasting lava. And it will stop producing power once it is completely full up. And then obviously when we need it, it'll kick back in. But we'll be using some of this. And again, the lava is going to be infinitely coming in. And, you know, we haven't even drained this entirety yet. You know, it's taking some time. I might set up 2 different ender pumps in the end, 1 for each side. Or maybe I'll link these up to just 1 tank. I don't know. This way is working good for now. But guys, that is all I've got time for in this episode. So do me a favor, if you enjoyed the video, leave it a like and hit subscribe. You can also follow me on social media. My links are down below. I post unique content across all forms of my channels, so you can find them down below. Guys, as always, I'm KCDavis. Thanks so much for watching. Take care now. Bye-bye.